Hi, welcome back to school. My name is Jennifer Moore, and I will be teaching your online fundamentals of physics and chemistry class. This is my 16th year of teaching. I taught 6 years in Springfield, Missouri, and this is my 10th year here teaching in Lee Summit. I currently am an in-person teacher at Lee Summit West High School. I teach Chemistry 1 and Chemistry 2 in person this year, but I have also taught Advanced Studies Chemistry, and I've also taught Fundamentals of Physics and Chemistry in person before too. So I have 2 children. I have a 16 and a 14-year-old junior and freshman this year. They're very involved in sports. My daughter plays softball for the high school team. They're both in marching band. They're both involved in scouts. So we love to stay busy. We just kind of live life like that, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I kind of want to go through a little bit of information about the class and how you can contact me. I want to take a look at our syllabus. And you can find the syllabus in our class in the beginning of the year welcome information. So here is my name. I don't have an E on the end of my last name. A lot of people want to put that. So when you're doing my email address, just make sure it's just M-O-O-R at the end of my email for my name. Our main number here at Lee Summit West High School is 816-986-4000. My extension is 7470. Our phones don't ring directly to our room. It'll go to a voicemail, but you can leave a voicemail and then I can give you a call back later. Honestly, though, email is the best way to get a hold of me. I do have second hour plan this year. So for second hour this year for our school, it is 8:17 to 9:04 on Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, we have late start. So the time shifts just a little bit and it's 9:13 to 9:56. I do check my emails throughout the day though, up until about 3 o'clock. So if you email me later, I may not see it till the following day, but I'm usually pretty quick to respond. So just be patient with me, leave me a voicemail, leave an email, and I will be sure to get back to you. All right, so if you're taking a look at our course description, this is usually a sophomore class, but lots of other grades take this class too. Usually you take it after Bio 1. It explores fundamentals of chemistry and physics and some related earth science material too. There's lots of good information in this class, and I can use a lot of what I have learned and what I've experienced to kind of relate to the class too. My bachelor's degree is actually in chemistry. I went to school at UCM, got my bachelor's degree there, and then I went to Springfield, moved there, and I got my master's degree in education from Drury. And then I started working in a lab. So I was actually a chemist for a while. I worked in a microbiological and environmental testing lab, and I loved what I did. I did awesome lab work all day long, every day, but I was also the only person in the lab. And I would find that at the end of the day, I hadn't said a word to anybody, and that is not like me. So I loved what I did. I just wanted the experience of having more human interaction, and I had thought about teaching for a while. And so that's what I went into, and I've been doing it ever since, and I love what I do. So you maybe will hear me talk about that every now and then, but I do like to relate some of those things to what we learn in our coursework. So that'll be what our coursework consists of. We will be working on chemistry for our first semester and physics for our second semester. It is a 1-credit physical science class. Again, office hours, I do check my emails periodically throughout the day, so just be patient with me, but I am pretty quick to respond to things. And if you do need any time to do an in-person Google Meet, we can do that too. So if you just have a question over something and you would feel like it would be better explained face-to-face, at least through a computer, we can schedule some Google Meets during my planned time, after school, or whatever works better for you. But if you just have some general questions, you're always welcome to email me. Okay, so some of our coursework information. So our coursework will be used through Schoology. That's going to be our platform. So you will need to be checking Schoology, I would say daily. And if you go through my course tour information, you will be able to get a good view of what that course looks like and be able to tell where to find everything. So for the coursework, you will not have any mandatory Google Meets. Everything is asynchronous. And if you want to do your own Google Meet, we can do that too. But follow the calendar folder in Schoology, and that will tell you what we're doing each week and what would need to be due at the end of each week. Some of our supplies, a charged Chromebook. Okay, we're going to be using that Chromebook quite a bit. So make sure it's charged, a calculator of some sort, even if it is the calculator on your Chromebook, that's okay too. A graphing calculator is not necessary. We're not going to be doing anything super crazy with the calculator, but with some of our physics and some of our chemistry, it is very much math related. So you'll definitely need a calculator. Optional materials, if there are any further optional materials that are required, I will update you, and if it's anything that I feel like maybe you wouldn't have, I can send home for you. But if you have any difficulties even on a calculator, just let me know and I can try to get one sent home. All right, grading. Power School is always the final grade. Yes, you will have scores in Schoology, but those get synced to Power School. And in Power School, you're going to find the weighted averages. So even though you may have a certain number of points or certain scores in Schoology, once we get those into weighted categories in Power School, the grades look a little different. So if you're ever wanting to know what your actual grade is in class, Power School is always the final word on your grade. So check Power School. Our grades are based off of 90% coursework and then a 10% final. So we will add that final in at the end of the semester, and that'll kind of shift some of our percentages a little bit. But how that 90% is found, it's broken down into smaller percentages. So what's making up that 90% is 100% other items for coursework. So our test will be 40% of that coursework. We will end in a unit assessment at the end of each unit. It'll be taken in Schoology, usually in Respondus Lockdown. It is timed, and I will have a window of time for you to take that. So just make sure it's completed during that time. Quizzes, kind of the same deal. Those are 25% of your grade. They will be also in Schoology. Sometimes they are timed, more often than not, and they will be open for like a certain window time frame too. Labs and projects, we may do some projects. I may include that in your lab category. I may actually include it as your final. So we'll kind of just see how things go. But I will definitely let you know as we're going through any updates to anything. Your labs, I love labs. I mean, this is a science class and it's so nice to do hands-on learning. And I know that's very difficult to kind of picture in an online class. So how I like to do it is the labs that we would typically do if you were in person with me. I do like to make some slideshows, videos of labs, so you can experience what that person would experience as actually physically performing the lab themselves. And then you would take a lab assessment over what was learned. So you can kind of view the pictures, look at the scales, see what things are happening in the videos, and you could still answer those same questions. So that's how we will handle our labs. Okay, balanced assessment. You receive your letter grade based upon mastery of our national and state standards. So how that looks is we will be taking assessment grades for your quizzes, your labs, and your tests, not necessarily for like a daily work, just turning in something for a couple of points every day. So I often will give you maybe like a worksheet, or I call it practice sheets, assignment, want you to work through some problems, but I will also often give you the answer key to those for you to check your work. And if you are chugging along and doing great and you can check those answer keys and you're like, oh, okay, I got that, or oh, I see how she got that because I work out the problem, awesome. You will need to do those to be successful though, okay? Because if you're not doing those, just jumping straight into a quiz, lab, or test, it's not going to go very well. You've got to make sure you're practicing that work as we go along. Okay, some of our class expectations. Again, charge Chromebooks. We need to make sure we have those, proper working order. If you ever have any issues, make sure you're taking it to the tech office for your homeschool. All of your work needs to be completed on your own without the assistance of your peers, the internet, and other classroom materials. So there is some academic honesty that's involved in this. I do trust that you're doing this work on your own. The difference on our different categories though, labs, you are able to obviously use the slideshow and other materials besides people for those labs. So that is an exception. Communication for us is going to be key, especially in an online class. I want to hear from you. So if you have questions or your parents have questions, please let me know, okay? And early on, so we can kind of get things tackled as we go along instead of just waiting until you're so far behind feeling that you're not feeling very good or comfortable with where you're at in the class. So, make sure you're emailing me, leaving me a phone call, scheduling a Google Meet if you need to. Again, no Google Meets will be required. It is asynchronous, but you do have those available if you need them. Although times may vary daily, again, it is expected that some work may require you to spend about an hour a day on some things. And every day may be a little different. It may be a quick activity one day, but with the test being timed, you may be spending more time on those days for sure. Again, Power School grades are the official grades. They should be checked often to make sure accuracy and accountability. You will be wanting to check that calendar folder in Schoology so you're not missing any due dates or behind on any material. Academic dishonesty is not going to be permitted. I did put an academic honesty page in your Schoology folder. It is copied pretty much directly from our school handbook, and it will give you some of the definitions of plagiarism, cheating, and then some of the consequences that go along with that. So that can include phone calls home, meeting with an administrator, a 0 for an assignment, and especially on a lab quiz or test, that's a pretty big chunk of your grade. So please make sure you are staying academically honest. Online submissions, again, everything should be completed through Schoology. So if you're sharing something with me, share it through Schoology. Don't send any of your information in an email. Like don't submit something through email. Everything has to go through Schoology. And I do have a page in my welcome folder that has how to make an online submission. So you can go through that too. You can keep reading through here. Again, submissions will have due dates. All work is completed again through Schoology. As far as late work goes, you do usually have a pretty big window of time to complete something. So if I do like a lab assessment, I may assign it and then give you like 2, 3, 4 days to work on it. If I give you a quiz, I'll tell you it's open from here to here. So during that time frame, you should have sufficient amount of time to complete that activity. If you are absent, please let me know. So if you are sick or something's going on, a funeral, something comes up, let me know so we can handle that then. If you do not complete something on time, it does go as a 0 in the grade book. Now that could be from an absence. It could be that you just forgot to take something. So just as long as you and your parents know, hey, if I don't have it completed, it is a 0. If it's an absence or something, obviously that can be made up. So we can go back and work on those. So anyways, I am really looking forward to this school year. If you or your family members have any questions, again, communication is key. Let me know. Send me an email, voicemail, contact me. We can even set up a Google Meet, or you're even welcome to come up with and meet with me in person at school. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And otherwise, I look forward to a great school year this year.